the world's top UFO investigators, experts, and researchers, they're rubbing elbows and sharing notes at this year's Contact in the Desert conference. This year's theme is Event Horizon, focusing on what's to come for humans and how artificial intelligence will play a big role in shaping our future. Another big topic of discussion at the conference this year is government disclosure, of course. We've been talking a lot about that one over the past 2 years. And our NewsNation special correspondent Ross Coulthart has played a major role in lifting the veil on what the U.S. government knows about UFOs. And he is one of the lecturers at Contact in the Desert this year. He joins me now. Ross, if this isn't the biggest meeting of the minds that there ever was, I don't know what would be. Conference officially underway. What are your major takeaways or themes that you're noticing so far?
Good morning, Markie. Well, it's always fun attending a conference to discuss something that the US government says is nonsensical and has dismissed out of hand. The allegations of retrieval programs of alien spacecraft, allegations of deep underground military bases, something we explored just a few weeks ago on NewsNation. But the evidence is there, and it's quite fascinating to actually talk to people who've been on the ground, experiences, people who say they've had direct contact with non-human intelligence. And look, it's not something you can dismiss out of hand, because there are over 2,000 people attending this conference, and a lot of them are highly professional people who want to talk in detail about experiences they've had and knowledge they've gained.
And keep unlifting that veil that you and I have talked about so frequently here. I also know you've taken your podcast called Need to Know on the road with Bryce Zabel, and I understand you'll be hosting a live show later on this morning. What's the focus of that show going to be?
Well, Bryce Zabel and I have worked together for a year or two now to work a podcast that basically explores disclosure. What's going on? What's the analysis that we can do that helps the public understand what's really happening at the moment in efforts to try and persuade the US government to be more open about what I do genuinely believe is an ongoing cover-up. I've spoken, as you know, directly to people working inside a program that the government denies exists. A program involving the retrieval of non-human technology. And I know a lot of people out there will be intensely skeptical, but what we're doing today and what we're exploring all the time is the allegations coming from specific individuals, including David Grush, who appeared on this network, and including, of course, Jake Barber, who went exclusively went on the network in January this year. And so a lot of what we're doing is reassessing that evidence and presenting it to this audience of, I can tell you, very highly skeptical people who want to hear the evidence and they want to test it for themselves. And a lot of people are asking, what's the US government doing to address these concerns? Is Congress ever really going to address this issue, or is it going to try and sweep it under the carpet? And so a lot of the evidence is being canvassed over the next few days here in Indian Wells near Palm Springs in California. And we're going to be reporting on that consistently for you over the next few days.
And speaking of that, I mean, this is the 11th year for Contact in the Desert. When you get all these like-minded people together for a conference like this, does it get the American people any closer to the answers that we've been looking for in the headlines the past 2 years, what the government knows, to your point, drones over Jersey, et cetera? Does this get us closer to that, this conference?
I think it does. One of the things I'm noticing is the level of identifiability for this innocuous Australian journalist who's covering this issue. I can't walk through an airport now in America without being stopped by people who know Reality Check and want to talk about the possibility that the government is hiding something about UFOs. There's a much greater degree of engagement. There's no longer the ridicule and the stigma from members of the public. A lot of the media continues to treat it like a joke, but frankly, a lot of the public don't. They want serious journalism into this, and that's what we're trying to do for them.
Yeah, they want answers. Well, Ross, I know you have a busy day ahead and a lot of prep to do for the show this morning, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'll let you go. Have a fabulous Friday.
Real pleasure, Markie. Have a nice weekend.
And keep us posted. I want to check in on the other side of this conference. And remember, everybody, you can watch Reality Check with Ross Coulthart exclusively online. Just scan the QR code on your screen or visit NewsNation's website or YouTube page.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.